This tutorial will help review Google Sites. If you haven't used Google Sites before, this may help you, but you also may need to see me for some extra help. When you create a Google site, first of all, to even get to Google Sites, if you were in your Gmail or your Google Drive, you can click on this grid here and click on sites, and then this is what will show up. I have lots of sites I've created for different things. You might have nothing in here. You might have one that you've created. Maybe in 8th grade you created something for your exploratory class, or maybe you've created something in high school and in a different class. What you need to do for this student portfolio is go over here to create, and then you are going to actually be using a template. So what you need to do is go to Browse the Gallery for more. And right over here, these are templates that someone has made. Most of these are actually mine that I use for class. If you take different classes with me, you might use this budget simulation portfolio. This URL portfolio is what you will be using now. These three, I'm going to guess that someone created and didn't even know they made it a template. So go ahead and hit URL portfolio, and you can hit select. Okay. Now you need to name your site. You are going to name your site last name portfolio. Okay, so mine would say, if I was doing this, mine would say Beeson Portfolio. Okay, but I want this to be whatever your last name is, portfolio. Okay, I'm going to do example so that I know what I'm doing here. Okay, and then you'll just go to create. It will take 1 second to kind of load here. Once it's loaded, this is your portfolio that you will be using for URL for this class and for other things while you're in high school. So as you can see, you have all different categories that you will be adding your things under. So you have math, science, literacy, social studies, and if you click on 21st century skills, underneath there you have employability, financial, technology, health, and civic. So these we'll explain to you later, but these are things from the Iowa Core. So these are things that teachers have to make sure that every student in our school gets. So you have to learn math, science, literacy, social studies. You have to learn about employability skills, financial literacy, technology literacy, health literacy, and civic literacy. So in URL, these three things right here are the things that we will kind of focus on the most. So these are the three things that I'm going to make sure that you really have done well under your portfolio, but you'll also need to have everything else done as well. Okay, so again, this is just an overview on how to use Google Sites for your portfolio. So we will talk about all these things later. So the few things that you need to know, this pencil right here is how you edit. So if you click on your edit page, you might want to say, hi, my name is Mrs. Beeson, okay? And you can just type in here like a normal document. If you highlight, you can make your type bigger or smaller. You can bold, you can make your type a different color, okay, whatever, however you want to do this, okay? One thing that you need to know with Google Sites that you don't, or you may have forgotten, or you may not be used to because of Google Docs and Google Spreadsheets like you use a lot, you do need to save. So you need to come up here and click the blue save button in order for anything to change, okay? If I want to go to a different site, I can click on, or a different page, excuse me, I can go to the edit button here and say, this is what I've learned in math. Okay, again, I'd have to press save, and it stays here. Okay, so those are how you edit your kind of type. If you want to change the color of what you've typed, you can do that under the edit key. The next important thing you need to know is this gear right here. When you click on that, there's a lot of things that come up, and there's only a few things in here that you really need to know about. Okay, the first one is page settings. Okay, if you create a website, the default is that all these will be clicked. Okay, oops, all of them, I didn't quite get that right. Okay, these would all be clicked as a default. Okay, I have taken those off because, do you see what comes up? There's a comment box, an add file, the name of the page. It doesn't look clean to me. Okay, so anytime you're creating a website, I would make sure on each and every page that you take all of these out, just because it makes it look a lot cleaner and more professional look. Okay, our goal is to kind of make this Google site look like a professional site and not just a Google site. Okay, so the page setting is the first thing that you need to know. Okay, the next thing that I really want you to understand is this manage site. Okay, so it's towards the bottom. If you click on manage site, this here is how you can get your site to look exactly how you want it to. Okay, this is the name of your site. This is always clicked as your default that says show the site name at the top of your pages. We don't want that. We want the cleanest look we can, so we'll usually unclick that. Yours should be unclicked already because this is a template and I have kind of done that cleaning up type of stuff for you. Okay, we'll get into a lot of this stuff later, but what I want you to know for this tutorial, I guess, is a few different things down at the bottom. Okay, your access settings. You want anyone who can view this site to have access. Okay, you'll go down to sharing and permissions here. Okay, see how this came up? I tried to go sharing permissions and it said you have unsaved changes. So I want to stay on this page and save. Okay, we have to save in this portion too. Okay, then I'll go to sharing and permission. Right now yours will be private. Right now I want you to go to change and go to anyone with a link can view. Okay, so what this is saying, this isn't public on the web, so it's not like you can search for it and find it, but anyone with a link. So when you send me the link to your website, I'll be able to view it. Okay, or if you would send it to a different teacher or send it to an employer, they can view it. Okay, you could share this with somebody, but I don't want, 50 people to share their website with me, because then all of your websites are in my Google Sites. I just want to link to it so I can access it when I want to, but I don't want it shared with me. So please don't share it. Just change it to anyone with a link can view. Okay. One of the main things you'll need to know in here is this themes, colors, and fonts. Okay, I have changed your website so that it's Carol colors, so black, white, and orange. If you want to change your website to be something that is more suited to you, maybe you like hunting a lot, so you kind of want yours to be the kind of greens and browns colors, you could do that. If you want to leave it as Carol colors, that's fine. Okay, if you know you're going to Iowa State and you really want it to be red and yellow, those kind of colors, that would be fine as well. So how we change the colors, just so you know, here is your entire page. Okay, so whatever's in red is what we're looking at. So we're looking at the entire page, the background. Okay, you could have an image as your background. Okay, you could have a color. Right now it's black. If I change it to red, do you see how that changes to red? I want to keep mine at black. Okay, then I'm going to go down to the text of the entire page. What's my font? Okay, what's my color? What's my size? What's my link color? Okay, you can go through and change those. Make sure though that you do something that's easy to read, okay, and that you're able to see it. So when I change these, you can see what happens. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're choosing something that people can see. If I change it to black, all those things go away because my website was black. Okay, so make sure when you're doing this that you choose things that make sense. Okay, then you can go to your site header. If you don't know what your header is, change something on here and see what happens. Okay, this must be my header. Okay, so you can play around with all these things. Here's the title, content area, all these different things. Okay, in each of these you can have an image, usually a color, a font. Okay, go through and you can take time to kind of play around with this and see what you want. Remember, when you're done, you need to go to save so that they all stay the same, okay, or so that all your changes will be saved. When you want to just go back to your website, you're going to go to this back arrow that says back to your portfolio, and then all of your changes should be saved on here. Okay. Other things that you need to know right now is this edit site layout. Okay. Generally, when you make a website, when you haven't chosen a template like I've given you, you will have, it will look like this. There won't be anything on the top and all of your things will be on the side. Well, this really looks like a Google site, okay? We don't really want all these things on the side, so we're going to take away the sidebar. So I'm just going to click on this so that it goes away. And then I want it to be across the top, okay? The only reason these are coming up across the top is because I've already chosen them to be there, okay? Yours, if you didn't have a template, wouldn't be up there already. You would have to add things to this horizontal navigation, okay? So to do that, you would move your mouse. See how the colors are changing? I'd move my mouse to the horizontal navigation and click on it. And now these are the pages that I want to be shown on my horizontal navigation. If I want to add a page, I can go to Add Page. And then these are all the pages I have already created, okay? And I could click one that I want up there, okay? Mine are already up there, so I don't really need to do this. Okay, so the next thing you can do is look at this configure navigation. I've decided it makes sense to have your home page to the left and then for it to go math, science, literacy, social studies, 21st century skills. If you wanted it different, if you were really good in science and you really want that to be the first thing people see, you would click on science and move it to the top. If you want literacy to be down at the bottom, you can do that. Once you've decided what you want and which order you want, you'll press OK. Maybe press OK, and then you can see that when I did that, it changed where I had my thing. So now if I click under 21st century skills, sorry, you got to go to close first. Now you can see literacy came under here. So I can say, oh, nope, that's not what I want. So I need to go back into Edit Site Layout, click on my horizontal navigation, find literacy, and say, I don't want that under 21st century skills. I just wanted that below social studies. Press OK, press close, and you can see now literacy is back where I need it. Okay, those are the main things that you need to know for this Google site right now. If you have any other questions, you need to make sure you come see me so that we can get your portfolio off to a great start.